Hi, everybody. I'm calling today for a transformation, an aromatic transformation from health fears into mind body freedom. Basically, an essential oils revolution. How did we get here? And by here, I mean most everyone has had this unpleasant experience of surfing through the online abyss of Dr. Google. If you didn't have health anxiety to begin with, by the time you combine a rudimentary compilation of innocent bodily gurgles and aches with just a few minutes of skimming, by the end, you end up terrifying yourself, right? Even the most rational person at the conclusion of a search could have some doubts and be persuaded into their imminent demise from a frightening self-diagnosis. The point is, we have too much information at our fingertips, and most of it isn't exactly happy information. And when we try to be healthy and seek out reputable sources, we can get confused, even feel shameful that we're not doing enough to be overall health and for our overall health and fitness. And it doesn't help that our nation is currently experiencing a mental health crisis and that our healthcare system has been failing in making any progress for chronic diseases. It's too much. On top of this, when we go to relax and unwind, we get bombarded with maybe negative news or events that we hear about. We are now in a state of habitual fight and flight mode. And in that space, it's almost impossible to heal. Our amygdalas, or the emotional portion of our brain, have been hijacked, and it's time to get them back and give our minds and bodies the respite they crave. So, what I want to invite you to do, my friends, is to check out my latest podcast that I did on the essential oils revolution. In it, I discuss how essential oils can help us gain back control of our amygdalas and bring us from a state of fear back into a state of calm control and get our executive functioning part of the brain working again. Just a quick overview of some of the topics discussed. I talk about how I integrate naturopathic, functional medicine, and essential oils into my practice, and how they all support a foundation of health, bridging conventional with integrative healthcare. And this is meant to give the patient more power, or the client, depending on where you're working. I also talk about classical versus functional and naturopathic applications of essential oils. There's also a concept called clinical aromatherapy. For me, when I use essential oils in my practice, I combine their aromatic properties with their physiological, biochemical, and psychological applications. I talk about how essential oils can elicit the relaxation response to allow our innate ability to heal. I go over a quick case study of incorporating ylang-ylang essential oil for heart synergy and a joyful blend for soothing trauma and psychological symptoms. We go over essential oils for stress and hormones, specifically HPA dysregulation and modulating the cortisol response through the different rhythms of different times of day. So we don't just want to try to lower cortisol. There's times when the cortisol is supposed to be at higher levels or lower levels, depending on our circadian rhythm, or again, the sleep and wake cycle and the time of day. And you can use specific oils at specific times to modulate that. I talk about all of the research with peppermint oil for digestion. I talk about my story and how I got interested into essential oils and why I went to naturopathic school. So if you want to learn that, you'll definitely have to tune in. I talk about epigenetics, the microbiome, and how essential oils impact both of those. And then I do the self-care closing question and talk about how we need to ditch fear and allow ourselves to become empowered again and have trust and faith that our bodies are meant to heal when we're given the right tools and modalities and nourishment. It was really an honor to be on this Essential Oils Revolution podcast. It's one of the top aromatherapy podcasts that is out there. Samantha Lee Wright is one of the most welcoming, kindest, and knowledgeable hosts on aromatherapy. and she's had so many different experts and professionals. I actually found this podcast only a few months ago, and I've actually taken some of what I've learned from it. They're clinical experts, such as doctors, such as aromatherapists, clinical aromatherapists, and just really advanced users and different practitioners of all kinds, and how they incorporate essential oils into their lives, into their lives of their clients and patients. It's been super helpful. So I hope that you take a listen and scroll through the feed, and I'm sure that you'll find something helpful for you. I'd love to hear your feedback. Go ahead and put any questions or comments in the video description. I will have the link to the summary of the show, as well as to where you can get the show notes, where you can listen to the show, and also my overview and some of the takeaway points. So be sure to check those out in the video description. And again, I read all comments, so I'd be happy to answer any questions. I also have additional resources on essential oils, as well as wellness, naturopathic, and functional medicine that are available to you, again, in the video description. So thank you for taking the time to watch. Be sure to check out that podcast. Let me know what you think. And some exciting news will be coming up in the next few weeks. So take good care.